So yesterday we have discussed the OWD, roles and profile. Now let's take a scenario on this. For example, there could be any project. Assume that I have a project here.
Hey, Parka.
There is a project. So assume that I'm selling the vehicle. Okay. I'm selling the vehicle. Could be any project. Here one example I have taken, but take any product. Take any product. Whether it is a vehicle or a different product or it is a washing machine, whatever it is. In every product has different people are involved in this. Different people are involved in this. That means there are so many people are involved just to sell a small product. Just to sell a small product. This is one group. Assume that this is a different admin. Please mute yourself for some time. So there are different groups are available. That means in order to sell a single product, I have a different groups are involved in everywhere, right? So one group is, let's say that this group is sales group. This group is a different and this group is a different. Everybody has their own work. Everybody has their own work. Let's suppose for this vehicle only. Let's take this vehicle Audi. Let's take a Audi. This is the vehicle of Audi. Audi is the vehicle. For this vehicle, there is a team who is like a client side. I'm talking about the team is client side. Now client side, we have a admin team. Assume that this is the admin team. And this is sales team. This is sales team. And here I have a service team. And here I have a consulting team. Consulting team is nothing but whenever I wanted to buy a vehicle, when I go to the showroom, there is a different team whom I can consult it. Okay, there is a team separately will be there for the insurance, right? There is a team only for the test drive. If you wanted to do the test drive, they will only handle the test drive related activities, right? And there is a team who is, it's like a manager team. Now, in a company in a sense client, you do whatever, each and every activity is divided to the different groups. Each and every activity is different group, right? Simple example, take a institute. Okay, in the institute, whoever is teaching, that person is a different. Whoever is doing the admin activities, that is different. And who is doing about the marketing, that is a different. Who is doing about the sales, right? So that is also different. Who is doing about the checking everything at in the office? Everybody, the task is divided to each and every person. Because it is not possible one person handling complete institute, or one person handling complete entire product of selling for the 10,000 members. It is not possible, which is we agree with that, right? We agree. Now here, there are 5 members in the admin team, 6 members in the sales team, 7 members in the service team. This is how it is there, right? Now, when we have a smaller company, client is a very small, it is fair enough. Because maybe one person or two people can handle. But when your client project or when your client is selling in multiple places, when your client is selling in multiple places, that time you have a different, it has to be very big team. It has to be very big team. Now, let's take an example of sales. I'm taking the service. Service is another team here. And I also have a test drive, right? Test drive team is there. And we have an insurance team. There is a separate team who will be suggesting the insurances, especially for the specific bank, they related, right? So they will be suggesting it. And similarly, I have a consulting team. Now, these are the different teams which are available within the organization. Within the organization, I have it. These are the different teams. Now, when we have a different teams in the organization, especially organization is very strict about what the person is, like what is the roles and responsibility. Like every member has some roles and responsibility. What you need to do today, what you need to do tomorrow. Everybody has their own roles and responsibility. Right? Everybody has it. This person should not interfere on this person. This person should not interfere on this person. This person should not interfere on insurance. If test drive person interfere on the insurance person, that insurance, the person might go into the different direction, right? Because test drive person does not have any clarity, any knowledge on insurance. Insurance person does not have any knowledge on test drive. Now, if they try to involve into the insurance, what will happen? We will guide the customer with a different way, right? The customer might confuse it. So these are the different teams are available in the organization. These are the different teams which are available within the organization. Now, whenever we have so many members in the organization, what is the first thing that company does it? A company, in a sense, assume that Audi company. What is the first thing that Audi company does it? Yes. When we have so many members, what is the Audi company does it? First of all, what they will think on this? Now, everybody is creating a record. Sorry?
It defines roles and responsibilities first.
Roles and responsibility. Roles and responsibility. The first thing is organization does the role hierarchy. Role hierarchy. That means whom should report to whom should report to, like who is the subordinates, who is the superior. They decide who is the superior, who is the subordinate. Who is the superior, who is the subordinate, they decide it. When they decide it, why they decide this? Because every organization has a certain hierarchy. Every organization is certain hierarchy. Why that hierarchy is there? Why that hierarchy we have? Because in this company, everybody has a certain target, or there is some work that needs to be completed. And whenever it is completed, they should submit to manager. Submit to manager. So that is the first thing they will do it, role hierarchy. That means if I have a hierarchy of CEO, right? So CEO level, possible that there is a directly VP is available. VP is available. Within the VP, now sales and service team, both will be sales and service team, both will be reporting to VP. Right? Maybe along with the service, test drive person is also will be reporting to VP. Now, this kind of a structure, they will put it. This kind of a structure, they will place it. Right? This is why we have this, because to understand whatever this person is working on it, if the VP wants to see, like in a day, how many test drives are completed? In a day, how many test drives are completed? This should be visible to this person. Whatever the service team is there, whatever service team is doing it, he is expert in a service. Now, test drive person cannot go for a service. Test drive is nothing but, for example, you are going to the showroom. Okay, you saw the Audi vehicle. Now, before buying the Audi vehicle, you wanted to test it. You wanted to test it. That means you wanted to go for a test drive. When you wanted to go for a test drive, there is a separate team who handles the test drive activities. Now, if the test drive person involves into the service, will the person able to, what is the use that? If the test drive person involved into the service or a sales, what is the use of it? There is no use of it, right? Everybody has their own work. Whatever your work is there, do that and submit that work to the VP. Right? So till this point, everybody is clear. Company, client, organization, roles and hierarchy, role hierarchy. Offline. Yes. So we have a certain activities are there. Certain activities which needs to be done by the each team. Now, when we have a certain activities done by the each team, now I know that if I place the test drive person into the sales or service, will he able to justify 100% doing the work in the sales and service? If I place a test drive person, no, he will not be able to justify the sales because he doesn't know. When he doesn't know, we should not put that person into the sales, right? So in that case, what we are doing is whenever anybody is performing, this group is a different group. Whenever these groups are performing the activities, whenever this group is performing the activities, we separate the activities. We separate the activities. That means whatever you are doing is it is up to you. Whether you failed or whether you have done, processed everything, or your opportunity, whatever the deals are there, today's deals, you take care of it. Now, do not involve the other person. Now, if I tell this to the anybody human, now I'll tell the team, whatever your work is there, you have to be part of your work. Do not interfere on any other's body work. Now, will the person will be 100% dedicated to their work? Sometimes this person will go to the service team, sometimes this person will go to the test drive. Though I have said, but I cannot restrict the human. I cannot restrict the human, right? That my words are just, I'll be explaining it. I'll be just explaining it. But how can I make sure that the person is processing, the person is following his rules and responsibility? Now, verbally, I said that this is your work. This is your work. And verbally, I said that this is your work. But how do I track it? How do I know that whether whatever this person is doing it, whether this person is doing by himself or he is taking the help of the sales team, or sales team is helping the test drive team in order to create a records? How will I make sure? How will I make sure that?
only certain teams have permissions to do certain things.
Restrictions. Yes. Restrictions. That means I need to restrict whatever his work is there, whatever the applications he is doing, he is using. I need to restrict that applications. I need to restrict that applications to only to view for this person. Only to view this person. That means whatever activity he is doing it, he is doing only the sales. Now, sales application should be restricted to this person. Now, service application should be restricted to this person. Now, service should not be visible to the sales. Service should not be visible to the sales. Similarly, this person is, there is an app called test drive. App called test drive. So it should be visible to the only this person. This person should not see the service sales, what are the sales are happening. No. So that means I need to restrict it. I need to restrict the visibility of the applications. I need to restrict the visibility of the applications. Now, in order to restrict, what can I do it? In order to restrict, what can I do it in the Salesforce?
Create projects based on the area of work role.
More. Now we have a different teams are there. How can I restrict it?
Using roles.
Pairing rules.
Okay.
By profile, we can give minimum access, and then likewise we can restrict.
So here the concept is came profile. Through the profile, I can restrict. Restrict to view the sales, service, test drive. Right? This is the restriction I am putting it through the profile. But here, what is happening is sales, this nowadays, everybody is a smart. Everybody is a smart. Now this person identified to view the service records. I gave the restriction at the profile level. In the profile level, I gave the restriction, app restriction, object restriction, I have given, right? Now there is a one object which is shared between these two types. One object is which is shared. Now an example, there is a test drive. An example here, the lead object is created for the test drive. Now this lead is shared with the sales team also. Object application I have restricted, but there is a one object. One object is visible by the test drive. One same object visible by the sales team. That means though I have restricted the application, but we have a certain objects. That means they have to create a record in the systems, right? When they have to create a records in the system, then they have to go to the object or table. They need to go to the table, right? They need to go to the table. Now, once they go to the table and they have to click on a new button, once they click on a new button, they should be creating the record. But once they create a record, but here what is happening, that particular table, this is one table. Assume that this is the Excel sheet. Assume that this is a Excel sheet. This Excel sheet is visible to the test drive and this spreadsheet is visible to the sales team because they both are using the same spreadsheet. When they are using the same spreadsheet, now in the spreadsheet also, we have a below some tabs are available. We have some tabs are available here. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, like that we have a some tabs are available, right? Now this sheet is shared through the Google Drive. Now in the Google Drive, they have opened the sheet in order to add the records. Now the same sheet is available, visible to the sales team also. Same sheet is visible to this team also. Now, though I have restricted the application level, but still they are able to view the records that are entered by the test drive. And whatever the sales team is creating the leads, they are also test drive is able to see the records. Now, how can I restrict it?
With OWD, make it as private record.
Permission set.
OWD will restrict if they can make it as private.
Okay. Let's ask one person, Balu. What should I need to do in order to, for example, I wanted to restrict here the lead, whatever is test drive is creating, salesperson should not see. Whatever the salesperson is creating it, test drive should not see. What should I need to do?
When you're creating a lead, give access to certain roles.
Certain roles, okay. Permission set, can, okay. Permission set, Venkatesh. Now, okay. Now, here is the first thing is what the company does is, first of all, organization-wide. First of all, organization-wide, I should restrict everybody. I should restrict everybody, which is called as the object levels, right? I should restrict the object levels, everybody. Possible that there is a consulting team might be seeing the leads. Admin team also. Admin team anyway, they will have a full access. Consulting team also seeing the same sheet. So what we have to do is we need to restrict at the organization wide. We need to restrict at the organization wide. That means first you need to set organization wide whether you wanted to open up the access for everybody or not. Now, if you open up the access for everybody here, that means I'll say that in the organization market, anybody can view anything. I'll say here, anybody can view anything. So anybody can view anything. It's like simple example. Now I have taken a kid to the some mall. Have taken a kid to the mall. And for that kid, I said that you have a full freedom. You have a full freedom, do it whatever you want. That means the kid has full access to whatever he wanted to do. Now, the kid will enter into the mall, and start choosing the item to buy. When she starts choosing the item to buy, then I am putting a restriction. then I'm putting a restriction there that you should not buy those items because that is not related to you. She chose multiple items. So what I did, the mistake which I did is when we enter into the mall, I said to her that you have a full freedom, do whatever you wanted to do. Right? So the first mistake that I have done is do whatever you want. That means publicly available. You can go and do whatever you wanted. Then after giving that kind of a flexibility, when she comes back to me saying that, no, I wanted to buy this, I wanted to go there, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do the other things. Now, slowly, what I'm doing on top of the freedom, I'm restricting her. Right? So this is the problem with the human. The few people will give a lot of freedom, right? Once they give a freedom, when they come back to us, we will restrict it, saying that you should not buy this because it's not related to you. Because they don't know that. They don't know that it is not related. Because something it is attractive for the kid, so they will go and pick that item. But they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use it. They will take that and come to me, I wanted to buy this. There I'm putting a restriction. Now, which one is a better? That before going to the mall, I should specify her saying that you have a only access to the playground in the mall. So only the restriction of the playground. In the mall, we have a playground. You have only restriction that you should go to that playground. In that playground, you should be playing only certain area. That means at the initial stage only, I was telling her that you are a private. You should not go anywhere. You should not go anywhere, only restricted to the one place. Right? Then slowly after that, once she is done playing that, now if she feels that, okay, I wanted to go some other place. Okay, kid is going to ask the other place. Then I'll open up the access, whether I'll see that whether it is a safe for a kid to go there or not. If it is a safe, then on top of it, I'll add some more permission to her. Okay, you go that place, that is a safe place. Right? Here also in the organization wide, we should not open up the access saying that anybody can do anything. No, don't do that in the organization wide. At the first place only restricted. At the first place only restricted when the person, another example. Now you are joining the company, right? Assume that Deloitte company has a different offices in the Hyderabad, right? Different offices are Hyderabad. If company says that on the joining day, you can go to any Deloitte company. You can go to any Deloitte company. Now, what the employee does it, one day he will go there, one day he will go here, one day the person might go to the US, and there in the US, they can join the Deloitte, they can go to the Deloitte. So the person has a full access. Now, once after, when the person goes to the US, and in the US also, he is going to the Deloitte office. Now, there company says that you cannot come to the Deloitte office of US because you do not have. Now, what I'm doing is initially when the employee joined, we have given a full freedom that you can go to any Deloitte company. You can go to Deloitte company. Now, when the person shifted to US, in the US also he started going to the Deloitte company. There we are putting a restriction. That means which is a wrong way of guiding any person. Wrong way of guiding any person. When you are joining a company has to specify that which Deloitte company, right? In Hyderabad also we have 3 companies, or some companies are there, more than 1 companies are there. Okay, they have to specify in high-tech city, right, nearby Lemon Tree, you have to go to only this place, and within the company, you are supposed to go to C block. In the C block, your office is in the 2nd floor. That means I am putting a more private restriction there. Now, within the C block, you have to go to the 7th. That means the person should not go to the D block or A block or a B block, right? When they go to sometimes when they go to B block, the access code does not work. When they go to the A block, the access code does not work. That means we are restricting at the very high level. Very high level, I'm restricting the person. Now, in case if the person wants to go to the B block, the person has to give me the proper reason. If they give the proper reason, I can expand the access of that access card, right? I can expand the access of the access card. Then I can tell the person, now I have opened up the access. Now you have a access to go to the B block. So similarly, in the companies, organization-wide, we should not say that anybody can view anything. Now, when we say that, now what will happen? Insurance person will open up the sales person record and he will start modifying the data. Now, what will happen? Later, they both will fight together, saying that, why did you open my record? Because I'm already working, salesperson says that I'm already working with the customer. Why did you open my record? So what is the necessary? Why did you make a changes? A lot of issues might come back later. Instead of that, at the organization wide, you should restrict it. Instead of saying here, anybody can view anything, restrict at the high level, saying that it's a private. Everybody has a access to the private. That means it's an organization wide. I'm saying the access is a private. Organization wide, I'm saying the access as a private. When we say private, that means now this person cannot view the here salesperson data, right? Private means salesperson data cannot be viewed. Till this point, everybody clear? Venkatesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody, any questions? Okay. Now, on very high level, I am giving a private access, right? Private access of restricting the specific records view, right? Right, I'll come to the in-depth, wait for a second. Now, when I gave the private, so insurance team cannot view the records of sales team cannot view the records of insurance team. Now here, let's take an example of test drive and a sales. Now, I have already given a private here. Private is what is the data that I can view. So test drive person can view the data which is created by that person. Now, when I have a 6 members in the test drive, right? Within this team also, one person data, other person cannot see. Because I have given a private, whatever the first person is creating the 10 records. Second person is creating the 5 records, right? Not only within the different groups. Whatever the first person is creating the 10 records, second person cannot see. Whatever the second person is created, the other person cannot see, right? Within the group also we have a restriction. Private is nothing but could be a different groups or could be a within the same group. They are not allowed to view anybody's data. Now, this is the available. Now, let's say that Now here, this is a restriction at the organization wide. Initially, Salesforce came up with organization-wide restriction, which is called as a private. Private means it's a private for everybody. Whatever you are doing it is up to you. Whatever you are doing it is up to you. Nobody can view your record. What is happening, nobody knows. Only the person which knows is your manager. Whoever your superior is there, only that person can view the data. Only that person can view the data. Now, later, there are some feedback which came from the client. There are feedback which came from the client saying that this much restriction we should not give for everybody. Sometimes we should just open up the restriction. Sometimes we should open up the restriction. That means they are not talking about the role hierarchy here. Role hierarchy wise, everything is fine. Everything is perfect fine. But they said that you are giving a private. Now it is fine. Everybody has their role and responsibility. Whatever the work they have to do it, they can do it here because they have a private access. But there should be a little bit flexibility should be there for the few profiles. Little bit flexibility should be there for the few profiles. Let's example, one person is consulting person. Consulting person should have a flexibility. Now you have given a private here. You have given a private for everybody. That means whatever the records are they created, everybody can view only their data. Only their data they can view it. But there are some groups, there are some teams, this much restriction doesn't work. This much restriction does not work. Now give me some additional option. You do it however you wanted to do. So client said that you do it however you wanted to do. But there are some teams which need little bit more access. Now, because of this person, I cannot change organization-wide as a public, right? I cannot change it to public or a public read or a public read, right? Only because of one team, which is not fair, right? Because everybody needs a private, but there is a one team which needs some access, which is more not public, not a private, but in between I need it. In between I need it, or else let's take it as they need a public read. This person is needed the access of reviewing the data for others also, not the edit, but reviewing the data. Now here I have one team who needs their consulting team is nothing but basically they need to review the data. They need to review the data. Review or read the data. Read the data. When they want to review and read the data, that means more access which are required. More access which are required. Now, I have two ways of implementing for this. Two ways of implementing is this. Without touching the organization, without touching the OWD, right? Without touching the OWD. And this consulting manager is nowhere here. The consulting team is a separate. Consulting team is a separate. So we have a consulting team here. Consulting team is here, which is a separate. They are reporting to the VP also. They are reporting to the VP. Or that means in the VP level, there are two subordinates, consulting team, sales team. Consulting team, sales team, both are reporting to the VP. Now, consulting team is little bit more access, which they wanted to review the data of sales group. Which they wanted to review the data of sales group. Or they wanted to review everybody's data. Assume that this team need to review everybody's data. Whatever the data that is coming in the Salesforce, they wanted to review it because their part is to review the records. Their part is to review the records. Now, in this case, this is a kind of a more access that I needed. I cannot touch OWD. I cannot change his role hierarchy to report to. Suddenly, I cannot change the role hierarchy. So saying that report to this person. Now salesperson, service person, test drive is reporting to VP. Now because of the more access, I cannot say that sales team report to consulting, service team report to consulting, test streams, test drive report to consulting. We cannot do that. We cannot do. So it is suddenly in the company, you are reporting to the manager. You are reporting to the manager. Suddenly one day somebody came that you have to start reporting to the another person. Now how you feel it? Now last 10 years, I'm reporting to the one person. Now why you are coming here suddenly saying that you need to report to the other person, that other person will report to the manager, right? It will be somewhere you are uncomfortable. You are uncomfortable. And sudden changes, usually human does not accept. Sudden changes, humans does not accept. Same thing in the companies also. If you all of a sudden change the organization, cannot be accepted, because this consulting team is not doing a more work which is similar to the VP. They are just parties reviewing the data. Their party is just reviewing the data. Now I cannot change the org word, I cannot change the role hierarchy, and rest what else is left? Profile and permission set. Profile and permission set. Now I have a permission set will come later. Now we have a profile. Now the person is already have a profile here. The person is already have a profile, which is a different profile is there, which is different profile is there, where they have a access of in the profile level, create, read, edit, delete. Similar to the other person. These persons also have a create, read, edit, delete. Right? These options also there here. Now, this person need additional access. This person need additional access. Now, everybody has a different profile. In the real time, we'll have to create each group, we need to create a profile, or else what you can do is, for everybody, you create a one profile, and everybody, you create a one profile and update the changes using the permission set. Using the permission set. Let's take an example here. Now, let's say here, the profile, whatever the profile is there, this profile is applied to everybody. This profile is applied to everybody. But on top of it, I have created a permission set. Permission set is common permission set. For a sales team, I have created a separate permission set. For service team, I have created a separate permission set. And test drive, I have created a separate permission set. And then I have created an insurance separate permission set. Consulting also have created a separate permission set. Admin team also have created a separate permission set. Profile is very low level, which I have done it using the permission set. What is the access needs to be given to this person? I have given whatever the access I need to give to this person, which I have given. Now this is done. Now this person is saying that later this person is saying that they need to review the data of everybody's. Whenever they wanted to review the data of everybody's, initially permission set says that on the lead level, create, read, edit, delete. Create, read, edit, delete. This is only specific object which is called as a lead object. Now, when this person is saying that I need to review, that means I have something called view all. I have another option which is available, view all. So this view all will be, if I enable this, what will happen is this particular view all permission will override the OWD permission, When it is override the OWD permission, that means this person can view all the records. And they will have a read access. Now till this point, everybody clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here, as soon as I give view all, it should be overriding the profile. So Salesforce later, they have given this kind of a option saying that by looking at the client input, they wanted to have some additional access. Instead of introducing something different functionality in the profile level or permission set level only, they have given some option which is called as a view all. So whenever you look at the this per credit or object level options, it says here it is divided. It will be divided. This is a create, read, edit, delete is a access on the object level. This is a data administrator access. This is a data administration access. Look at in the profile. So look at in the profile. When you look at in the profile, it will say data administration access because they have later came up with view all. Now, not only this, now later they realized it, we need a edit access. Whenever they need a edit access, now we need to update that particular option which is called as a modify all. We have a something called modify all. So we can change that modify all. We can change this modify all. Now here modify all also. What it does, if I give a modify all option, ultimately it will override the OWD private option. It will override the OWD private option. Now the user will have a access of view all records with the edit access, read and edit access together. Read and edit access together. Is everybody clear on the OWD level? So that's the reason Salesforce has given a different pick list options in the OWD. We have a private, public read only, public read only, public read, write some more options which are given. Now, this is at the what user can view the data. Now, what is the user can view the data? It is clearly, this scenario is clearly explained. This scenario, consulting scenario, clearly explained what user can view the data. Now, we have a profile. Profile is what user can do. Now, that means user can create a record, user can read a record, user can edit a record, user can delete a record, whatever the options. User can view all the records, user can modify the records, right? That is the profile level. Permission set is attached to the profile. Permission set is attached to the profile. And then role hierarchy. Role hierarchy is attached to the OWD. Role hierarchy is attached to the OWD. It is attached to the OWD. Now that's only the concept here we have. That's all the concept which we have. Now, whoever is written this today's session, not clear. Is that clear with everybody? First one, whoever is mentioned here. Is that clear? Okay. Next one, level of access. Level of access is, for example, let's take a scenario. Now this is the view all, right? View all. Till this point you are clear. Till this point you are clear. Now, so now assume that as I have a private, okay, I have a profile and permission set. We are not giving here a view all. We are not giving here view all. We have a giving the create, read, edit, delete. Create, read, edit, delete. These are the options which we are giving. These are the options which we are giving. Now that means, now I'm changing my topic here. Now consulting topic is done. Consulting, sharing the viewing the records, this is done. Now my topic is I'm changing here. Now OWD is a private. I have a profile on this and permission set, everything we have given as a CRUD operation. CRUD operation. So that means one person is able to view the records of 10. Whatever the one person is created, he is able to see the records of 10 records. Whatever this person is created, only he can see 10 records. Whatever the second person is created, only 5 records he can see, right? Whatever the first person is created, the person cannot see the other person record, right? Total count of the lead will be 10 for the first person. Total count of the lead, second person, it is a 5. Now let's suppose second person is going on vacation. When this person is going on a vacation, now he need to talk to the first person. That means within my group only I need to discuss. Now there are 6 members in this group. Out of 6 members, he can talk to any other person. He can talk to any person, saying that during the maybe some chit-chatting hours, right? During that time, the person will say that I'm going for a vacation. Okay, I'll not be back for at least 3 days. Now he will say that I don't know how to handle the client records. There are few client records which are important. I don't know that there is a deadline for my role because I have these responsibilities which are there. So I cannot able to complete those roles. So he will ask out of the 6 members, for one person, he will ask, will you able to handle the work which I have? Then the person says that, yes, I can able to handle. So in that case, what this person does is, okay, he will explain everything. Then once he explained it, then this person will share the records to the other person, which is called as in the Salesforce, which is called as a sharing mechanism, sharing rules or a sharing mechanism. Now this sharing mechanism is basically, it will tell that whom to share it. Now, let's take a real time scenario. Your house is in Madhapur. You lock the house, right? And you kept the keys somewhere in nearby the door. Okay. Now you travel to some different place. Maybe you travel to Vijayawada. Now, as you are on traveling, suddenly you got a call from one deliver person. Maybe Amazon deliver person. You got a call. Now you are not at home. Oh, okay. You cannot come back to the home. You are supposed to go on, right? So assume that before going for a vacation itself, you will check, is there any deliver is there? Now you see that there is a deliver after 2 days. Now what you will do, you will inform a person nearby, maybe beside your house. You will inform verbally saying that I'm going for a traveling, like I'm going to Vijayawada, but there is a Amazon delivery that's supposed to come to my home after 2 days. Will you able to take it and place it at my home? So if the person says, yes, I can do that. So what I'll do is, before leaving the house, I'll lock the house. I'll put the house keys nearby door. Okay, I'll hide it the keys. Now after 2 days, Amazon person will come and they will see the key is locked, the door is locked. Then the person will call saying that there is a deliver is done. Now what you will do immediately, you will call the whoever is the beside house, the person is there, you will call that person. You will tell that there is a keys which I kept it nearby the door. Can you take the key? And open the key? Can you place that Amazon order? Because it's a big order. Can you help the Amazon person to place that order inside the house? Now what you are doing is, here keys are Here, keys are records. Keys are records. Now, Amazon delivery person is a client. Amazon delivery person is a client. Now, whoever is there beside the house, that person is in the same group. In the same group, there is a person who is working with you. That means your colleague. Your colleague. Now you have these now connected. Now, whenever you before going for a vacation, now in the test drive, you are going for a vacation. Before going for a vacation, you will talk to one person saying that I'm going for a vacation. But there is a one client. Client will come on after 2 days, but I'll not be available. Will you able to handle it? Will you able to handle it? Now, before the person says that yes, I can handle it. In that case, what you will do? You will share the record. You will share the record. Now, when you are sharing the record here, it's up to you whether you wanted to share the record. That means without sharing the keys. That means you are sharing the record, but when you are sharing the keys, in your house, you have 5 keys are available. Now you can just give only front door keys. Only front door keys you can place it here, and the order whatever is there can be placed into the front door. Similarly, here also, when you are going for a vacation, if you want to share the record, now what level of access that you are planning to give? Level of access is, whether this person, whenever he reviews the record, whenever the person reviews the record, whether this person should have a read access, only the read access, or the person should have a read-write access. Now you decide it. Level of access is only comes to the play when you are sharing the records to the another person. When you are sharing the records to another person, that time it comes into the play saying that, can you handle the record? I'm sharing you this record as a read access. Now, before you leaving the person, now you will tell the person, can you open up the one record and check whether you have a edit access or not? If the person says that, no, I don't, I can see that, but I do not have a edit access. Now, what I'll do again, I'll log in and I'll change the level of access from the read to read edit. Read edit. Now I'll tell the person again, can you open the record and check whether you have a edit access or not? If the person is having the edit access, then that's how I leave the office with a safely, without no calls from the client, saying that you can happily have the vacation. And once you come back, then you can talk to the same person, whatever is happened. Now you can take back that record to your own and start handling it. Start handling it. So while sharing the record, it will ask you that what is the level of access that you wanted to give? What is the level of access that you wanted to give? So this is only available in the sharing. Any questions? Venkatesh, is that clear? Okay. The next one is, what changes have been done when account and contact OWD changed to private to other object? Okay, it is cleared. Okay. Now, how to restrict the cloned system administrator profile to configuration? Now, whoever is written this, is that clear? Now, OWD is public read write, profile is CRUD, my records is read edit, other records are read. Now, scenario failed because I can read edit my records, read edit of other records. That is perfect. That is the correct one. So other records also you will have a read edit, because publicly it is read edit. This sharing is done only by admin or any employee. Sharing is done by the person, whoever is the person. It's not an admin. Now, these 5 records, you have a access, only you have a access. Here, admin is not coming to play any role. Now, you have a second person have a access to the 5 records because OWD level, it is a private. OWD level, it is a private. Only second person can handle 5 records. When I have a 5 records access, when I have a 5 records that I can access, now I can share that one of the record to this person. Now, who is the person that can share it? Whoever is having the full access. That means that the same person can share it here. That's the same person can share it. Now, let's take an example. Now, let's log into the Samskar IT 13. Now here, let's go to the setup. Now here I have a user. Here I have a user. Let's search the users. Now click on the users. In the users. Now let's assume that. Now we have a 2 members. Himaja is a standard platform profile. Kishore Kumar. Both are in the same level. Both are in the same group, platform group. Both are in the same group. Now, this is the second person, this is the first person. Whenever the second person is going on leave, now what the second person does is, second person share the record. That means now if I open this view all, if I open the accounts, now the account list, if I go to the all customer, the person will have access to the only one record because OWD is a private and whatever the profile level we have, it is just we have given the create, read, edit, delete. Now, the person want to share the records to the first person. Now, the second person want to share the records to the first person. Whenever they wanted to share the record to the first person, they will click on here sharing. When they click on here sharing, now it is going to ask which person you are sharing it. Now they can select the first person name. First person name. Now this person name is here. Now here is the access. Here is the access. So this access which I was calling as a level of access. What is the level of access that I can decide it here? You can decide it whether read, write or a read, which is on the account level. Similarly, we have a case and opportunity also, you can decide it. So that is the sharing which I'm doing it. Sharing which I'm doing it. In the sharing mechanism, we have just seen the how to share a record manually. How to share a record manually. Is everybody clear on that? Okay. Now here I created a, what is this? Can anybody, I created a, can you type your question otherwise? Copy of Salesforce platform. I think it is not clear. Okay, same question. Okay. Now, what are the other questions are there? I have not received it.
Good morning, everyone. This is Pratik from AWS. Am I audible?
So here we have this. Now, these are the questions which I have received it. Any other questions? Yesterday's one. Okay, what is the profile that you have applied? Sangeeta, what is the profile that is applied?
Salesforce platform. One minute, ma'am.
Okay, we will see Sangeeta. Any other questions offline, online on this yesterday's one, which is not clear? Okay, I'll take it as a no questions. So let's move on. Now, let's go to the Salesforce. Sangeeta will review yours. Just wait on a second. No, yesterday the last one is now what we have done at the OWD level. So whatever we have OWD level, in order to check the OWD level, we have to go to the sharing settings. So in the sharing settings, I have given here private. I have given the private. That means org wide, I restricted the private. Right. Private. Now we have a different users. Different users. In this users, whatever the record I am creating by logging as a first person, this is one COO person. If I log in as this person, I should not be able to see any others record. Any others record. If I log in as this person, I should not be able to see any other records. If I log in as this person, I should not be able to see any other person's record. Right? Now, so far what we have done is in the sharing mechanism, let's click on it, login as a COO user. Now in this COO user, when I log in as a one person, now I created some records. I created a records in account. When I created an account record, in order to share the record, I clicked on this record and then I clicked on a sharing button. Now in the sharing button, we have I can share with the user, I can share with the role, I can share with the role and subordinate. Right? If you say here role, that means this is the COO user. This is the COO user. If the COO user want to share with CTO user, then I can select here role as a CTO. Role as a CTO. That means whoever is the users that are assigned to the CTO. Whoever is the users that are assigned to the CTO. Right? So those all users can see the record, whatever the record I'm sharing it, everything they can see it. Everything they can see. That means whatever the record that I'm sharing here, I'm sharing to the a role. Now one role can be applied to the multiple users. Just a second. One role can be applied to the multiple users. So that means if I am sharing to the CTO role, if I am sharing to the CTO role, then that means whoever is the users are having the role as a CTO, everybody can view this record. Everybody can view this record. Right? So I can give directly role also. Similarly, If I go to the role and subordinate, if I say here, if I select here role, which is a CTO role, what I'm saying here, role and subordinates, role and subordinates. That means whoever the CTO is there, whoever the CTO is a superior and superior as well as the subordinates, superior as well as the subordinates, everybody can view this record. Everybody can view this record. Like this, you can assign to single role or a multiple role and subordinates. Now, one role and subordinate, you can select it, and later you can select the user. Multiple ways you can select it. So first I have selected the user, right? First I have selected the role and subordinate. Next I have selected the user. Next I will select the different person. Let's say here, CEO. Now this is a role, this is a user, this is a role and subordinates. This is a role and subordinate. So there is a no restriction that I should select only the users or only the roles or only the role and subordinate. No, you can select multiple members. You can select it and click on a save. Click on a save. Now, yesterday I have discussed that whenever account is linked to the contact, cases, opportunity, right? This is the internal Salesforce says that it is a tightly bound objects. Whenever you go to the account, it will say that you can see case opportunity. Case opportunity. Now here, whenever we are changing any relationship to the any level of access to the account, you can change here also. You can change here also. Because whenever in the OWD, whenever I'm changing here to private, automatically this case and opportunity gets updated because that those are tightly bound relationship within the Salesforce. Within the Salesforce. Front end, it says it's just a loose coupled relationship. That means there is no tightly relation. That means it's not a, if I change anything account, it will not impact of the access of cases or opportunity. No, it says that in the front end, it says that both are, all of them are a different objects. When I look at it, all of them are a different objects. All of them are a different objects. But at the back end, the sharing will always be part of whatever I do it on the account level. Contact will be all contact, case, opportunity will, everything will be aligned to the same one. Sharing will be the same account, contact, case, opportunity. So that's the reason whenever we change here case, private, case and opportunity, automatically it will change. Automatically it will change. Now here I'm doing it manual sharing. Now let's click on cancel. No, I'm not sharing right now. Now this is what we have done it yesterday. Now that person cannot create an opportunity. This person cannot create an opportunity. Let me log in as this one person. Now this person cannot create an opportunity because that person will not have access to the opportunity. This person will not have access to the opportunity objects. Why they do not have access to the opportunity? Because the profile which we have chosen is, the profile does not have an opportunity object else. Opportunity object itself. Now let me go to that person profile, standard platform user. If you go to the standard platform user, now scroll down here. When you scroll down, now here are you able to see the object called opportunity. So Salesforce has restricted, excuse me, whoever is drawing this, please do not do that. Now, so here Salesforce by default, it doesn't give in the standard profile, this person who is this op2. What is the name of this Oppo CH22285? What's the name of you? Shall I remove you? Oppo CH2285. Yeah, what's your name? So, okay. So here standard platform user, in the standard platform user, by default Salesforce does not give all the objects flexibility there. Does not give all the objects flexibility there. That means it will have only access of account, contact will also be contact, and then you will not see opportunity. Nowhere I can see here opportunity. Can I see opportunity or a lead? I cannot see, because that is the restriction of the profile. This profile is only for these objects. This profile is only used for this object. This profile is only used for this object. So that's the reason the person, whoever is allocated with this profile, that user cannot see the opportunity, product, case, right, lead, campaign. They cannot see any of this. They cannot see any of this. The only object that they can see is account, contact, asset, right? Asset, you need to enable it, right? And few of the customers, what are the customers objects are there? That customers object, and that's all. And if you create any custom object, you can able to see the custom object. So that's the reason the person is not able to see. Yes. So the reason which I asked you to create a opportunity, because you should know that what kind of a profile this profile is, what kind of a access which is giving it. So that was the answer I was expecting from you all. So whenever you use this profile, will you able to create an opportunity or not? For that reason, I was given the assignment. Now this is the flow which I have done it. Now account is a private. Now sharing features, we have gone to only the manual feature. In the manual feature, I have gone to the sharing button. In the sharing button, I have shared the record. I have a level of access, read and read write. I can share it to the single user. I can share it to the multiple user. Now the next topic which we are going to see is public groups. What is the public groups? Now, so far, is this flow everybody clear? Is this flow sharing to the record level, this one, everybody is clear. Public group is the one next topic which we are going to see. Is everybody clear on the sharing features also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's move on to the public group topic. Now let's take a scenario. So let's take a scenario. Now scenario is, I have a use case. Okay. Now the use case is, I have a different users, right? Different users are creating the different record. Like assume that in the real time, records are, there are 10,000 records will be there in the system. 10,000, more than 10,000 records will be there in the one object. In one object, you have a more record. So many records are there. Now in this scenario, I have said here 10 records and 5 records. So right, that is the example which I have given. Possible that one person can create 100 records or a 10,000 records. What are so many records, he can create it. When the person has these many records, and in the team, you have a multiple users. Assume that you have a different users are there. Total 50 users in the group. Total 50 users. It is possible in the real time, you will have a 50 users. Now, if the person want to share the record, now what this user is doing is, user is clicking on the sharing button. User is clicking on the sharing button and then sharing the record. Now let's assume that this person has to share the different users. Assume that this person has to share 50 users at a time. 50 users at a time he wanted to share. Because there is a requirement that came to them. So that because they wanted to share that record, everybody should need to review that record. Everybody needs to review the record. Now, how long it will take for you time selecting the each person? Now I'm saying here 50%. So you can select here 50%. For example, if you have a 10,000 users or you have 100 users and you need to share multiple records, not only the one record, multiple records you wanted to share. How much time consuming it is? How much time consuming it is? For example, record 1, you have to share with users called user 1, user 3, user 7, user 9, like these many users you need to share it. It's not a straightforward like a 1 to 10 users. No, you have a different users. Now in this 50 users, this first record should be shared with user 1, user 3 and user 7, user 9, user 10, user 12, user 15, 21, 27, 32, 47. These users you need to share the record. Similarly, record 2. Record 2 also you need to share with the different users. You record 3 also you need to share with the different users. Record 4 also you need to share with the different users. That means every time whenever you are sharing a record, okay, sometime possible that this is the same group you are selecting it every time. Or first 2 records you are sharing with the same group. Next 2 records you are sharing with another group called user 2, 4, 8, 11, 10, 13, 16, 22, 28, 33, 48. These are the users you are sharing it. Now, will you able to remember that? Assume that these records are related to the Hyderabad records. These records are related to the Hyderabad records. And the next 2 records are related to the Bangalore records. Now, when you call a call center, they will ask you from where are you calling, and they will raise a case on behalf of you. Let's say that there is a repair at home, AC repair. So when you call a call center, it's a toll-free number. When you call a toll-free number, in the toll-free number, they will take your address and everything. And they will ask you that from which place you are calling it and what is the issue, everything. So by taking that, what they will do, they will create a record inside the system, and this record they will create it and they will assign this record to the Hyderabad people, because the Bangalore person cannot come to Hyderabad and do the AC repair. Now, if you are calling from Hyderabad, this record should go to the Hyderabad. If you are calling from Bangalore, this record should go to the Bangalore. Now, how you will remember that in Hyderabad, these many users are there, in Bangalore, these many users are there, that I need to share the record. It is very difficult to remember. Now, that means you need to note down somewhere this list of the users. Whenever I receive a issue from the Bangalore, that it goes to the Bangalore. Whenever I receive a issue from Mumbai, it should go to the Mumbai. Whenever I receive a issue from Gujarat, it should go to the Gujarat. So like this, I need to differentiate the list. Now here, there is a possibility that a user may be part of the different groups. Now, if you observe here, user 10. User 10 is, we should be sharing the records to the Hyderabad record should be shared to this user 10, as well as Bangalore also will be sharing to the user 10, because user 10 stays between the Hyderabad and Bangalore. He stays between the Hyderabad and Bangalore. This person is working from home. It is From this place, he can reach to the Bangalore within 1 hour. He can reach to Hyderabad within 2 hours, right? So which is easy for him to travel. So he is staying in between it. So there is a possibility that users may not stick to the one group. Users may not stick to the one group. User can be part of the multiple groups. That means you need to remember that this particular user is a part of Hyderabad. He's part of, that means whenever I receive a Hyderabad, it should go to user 10 also. Whenever I receive a issue from Bangalore, it should go to the user 10. Like that, you need to remember the common user details also. It is very difficult to remember that what is the user list that I need to assign whenever I get a record, who all the users I need to assign it. So for that, what we are doing is we are combining all the list of the users, and then we are creating a group to this. We are creating a group to this. That means I am creating a group here. Separate groups I am creating it. Separate groups I am creating it. It is similar like WhatsApp groups. Okay. One person is learning the Salesforce. One person is learning the AWS. Okay. Whenever I receive a requirement of learning the AWS, then I'll place that person into the AWS group. If the person is interested to learn Salesforce, then I'll place the person to the Salesforce group. If the person is learning Salesforce and AWS together, then what I'll do, I'll place the person into the group of WhatsApp group of Salesforce, WhatsApp group of AWS, because the person is learning two things together he is learning. So similarly in Salesforce also, we have a different kind of a concept called public groups. Public group is nothing but group of users where it is restricted. Now, these users can be part of a one group, can be part of multiple groups. There is no restriction that if the user is already part of a one group, then cannot be in the another group. No, there is a possibility that group, whatever the user is present in the group 1 can be part of the group 2 also, can be part of the group 2 also, right? So that's how it is, a concept is called as a public group. Now in the sharing mechanism, now so far we have seen this one, assigning the manual to the single user, assigning the user to the multiple user. Now the concept which we are introducing as a public group. Public group is nothing but using the public group, you can assign to the multiple users, you can assign to the single user. That means a group can contain a one user, a group can contain a multiple users. A group can contain one user, a group can contain multiple users. Now let's see definition of the public group. Public groups are while sharing the record, while sharing to the multiple users, instead of selecting the each user separately, we can add them to a group, which is called as a public group. While sharing the record to the multiple users, instead of selecting the each individual person in the, while sharing it separately, instead of selecting them each person separately, we can add them to the a group, and to that group I can share the users. To that group I can share the group. Now, public group contains set of a users, also set of a groups, also set of a group. That means, so far whatever we have learned is I have a public group. Now, in this public group, I have a different users. I have a different users who are part of this group. I have a different users who are part of this group. Now, this is a group. Now, group can contain a users. Also, group can contain a subgroup. That means this is a Salesforce group. This is a Salesforce group. Inside this Salesforce group, I can add a admin group. I can add admin group. I can add a lightning group. I can add a different groups. That means group is a combination of users, set of users, and public group also. Public group contains set of users and subgroup also. Subgroup also. Now, while sharing the record, we can share the records to the public group. Now, instead of selecting a single user, you can directly select the public group option, and you can say share that record to the directly to the group. Whenever I share that directly to the group, indirectly every user part of that group or every subgroup part of that public group will get access to the users, will get access to those records. Now public group will make the records to visible to all the group members automatically. It will, because you need not to remember the group, what are the users which are part of the group. So Salesforce itself, remember that it will allow them to share the details whenever we are sharing to the public group. Individually, I'm sharing to the users. Now we can create a one or more public inside the organization. You can create a n number of public group inside the organization. All the public group members information will get resides inside the group member object. Group member object. That means now whatever I'm creating whatever I'm creating the public groups, if I wanted to check development during the development, if I wanted to retrieve the public group details, that means public group is nothing but I'm creating a record. It's an object. Basically, public group is an object. Inside this object, I'll be creating a different records. Inside this, I'll be creating a different record. This is an object. Inside this object, I'll be creating the multiple records. When I create a multiple records, what will happen? It will store into the database. Now, this is you are doing in the UI level, right? But in case from the database, if you want to pull the records in the development end, or you wanted to check where is the records are stored, or you wanted in the database, you have a different tables are there, account table, contact table, lead table, different tables are there where it will store only related to that object, the data will be stored. Now similarly, public group, I have a public group related data, where it is getting stored, into the group member. It is getting stored into the table called group member. It is a group member table. In this table, the data gets stored. Is that clear? Public group so far? Public group concept. We will see practically, but the concept is clear. Why I'm creating the public group? Why I'm going for a public group? Okay. So how to create a public group? Where to go it? How to include the users in the public group? We'll see tomorrow. Okay. So today again go through all the OWD profile, whatever this concept is there, whatever I have explained, go through this again, and whatever the assignments is there, complete that, exams complete that. Tomorrow we'll see the topic of public group. How can I combine the users to the public group? The reason why the concept is came from the public group, because to include the multiple users into one group. It's similar like a WhatsApp group. Instead of sending a message to each member, each user in the WhatsApp, what you will do, you will combine it. Same example of our institute, right? Right now we are sending if we want any information, maybe possible that we can have a chat individual person. Now, having a chat with the individual person is better, or directly sending the message to the group, is it better? Directly sending the message to the group, that means I can send only one time. If I do not have a group, then I need to send a message to all the 60 members one by one. That means how much time consuming it is. Now, if I create a group separately, only one time I need to send a message. Ultimately, all the 60 members will receive the information. Now, similarly, public group in the Salesforce is also same. Instead of assigning to the individual user, what you can do is you can select a public group. Automatically, the user will get the access. Yes, that's all for today. We'll see rest of the